Good Holly, I'm Rebecca G. Kamsi, taking off Bachelor of Elementary Education, second year college. For today, we are talking about how to play the ball and the play at the net in volleyball.
So some basic information about volleyball are that there are 6 players per team on the court at all times. Volleyball initially starts when a player serves the ball from position 1. If once the ball is served, both teams would play it out. If the team that served wins the point, they would continue serving until they lose a point. But if the team that didn't serve wins the rally, all players on that team would rotate one position to the left. And then the player in position 1 would serve.
What is service? Service is used by a player to launch the ball over the net to start a rally. Serve is the first conduct to start every rally is called a serve. The player who serves is called the server. Usually, the server uses one open hand to swing overhead and send the ball over the net from beyond the end of a line. There are types of serve. First is serving order. The first serving of the first set game and the deciding set is executed by the team determined by the toss. Second is authorizing a serve. The first referee authorizes the server to serve after have checked the team are ready to play and the server is in position of the volleyball. Next is executing a server. The volleyball shall be hit with one hand or any part of one arm after being toasted or released from one hand or both hands. Only one toss or release of the volleyball is allowed. Attempt. Attempt is a record anytime a player attempts an attack, hits regularly and a ball into opponent's court. The ball may be spiked, set atop or hit as an overhead conduct. Screening. Screening the player of the served team must not prevent their opponent through individual or collective screening from seeing the server or the flat path of the ball. Playing the ball. First set of a play. The ball is in a play from the time it's served until the ref declares it out. A fault occurs when the ball is hit or lands outside of the court or it's caught by the net. Next is playing fault. There are 4 faults. First is 4 hits. A team conducts the volleyball 4 times before returning it. Next, assist hit. A player gets support from a teammate in order to make a play on a volleyball. Next is the catch. The volleyball is caught or thrown. It doesn't rebound from the conduct. And lastly, double conduct. A player conducts the volleyball twice, 2 separate attempts in a succession, or the volleyball conduct various parts of the players. We are now in team hits. A team in a title a maximum of 3 hits in addition to blocking for returning the ball. Player under the net. A player can be penetrate into opponent's space under the net provided that this doesn't interfere with opposite play. A player reaching across the net. A blocker may reach beyond the net provided they don't interfere with opponent play before or during the attack hit. After the attack hit, the attacker is permitted to pass his or her hands beyond the net provided the conduct has been made within their own playing space. Player player conducting the net. Conducting with the net by a player is not a fault unless it made during the action of playing the ball or it interfere with a play. Some action playing the ball include the action where players don't actually touch the volleyball. Once the player has hit the volleyball, they may touch the post, rope, or any object outside the total length of the net as long as it does interfere with the play. With the ball is drive into a net and cause the net to touch the opponent.
Next, a block. A block is a technique.
Next is a block. Block is a technique used to deflect the ball coming from the attacker. The blocker is trying to block the ball back into the opponent court.
Let's look at another one.
Sparker touched the net. Let's watch this. It is the fault. This is the fault because the sparker during the playing the ball hit the net between the antenna. Another question. Is this a fault? Yes, because this is the fault because the sparker during the landing hits net between the antenna. The sparker hit the antenna during the landing. If it occurred between the antenna, it's a fault. If it occurred out the antenna, it's no fault. Is this a fault by the red middle blocker? Yes, the fault because the blocker touched the net between the antenna during her landing. This is the fault by the black middle blocker. Yes, the fault because the middle blocker closed the ball touched the net between the antenna during her taking off. Is this a float by a blocker? Yes, float because the blocker in the moment of the landing hit the net between the antenna. Next is a setter touching the net. Is this a float by a setter? Yes, it's a float because the setter during the setting hits the net between the antenna. Is this a float by the player number 6? Yes, the float because the player hit the net intentionally, furthermore the more miss landing. Is this a float by the middle player? Yes, float because the player intentionally changed the ball rebounding through the net interfering opponent playmaking action, which hinder an opponent legitimate attempt to play the ball. Same question. It is the fault by the middle player? No, because the player altered his net but made no action in order to interfere opponent play.
Kill. A kill in volleyball is when a player hits the ball and it's an instant point. Their goal is to make sure they hit the ball hard in the open spot so the ball is not returnable. Attack. An attack is when a player jumps while doing their approach to hit the ball. Substitution. A substitution is when a player needs to leave the court and has to be replaced by a player on the bench. Spike or hit. A spike or a hit in volleyball is an arm swinging motion that is used to attack the ball over the net. A volley or a set. A volley or set is a motion used to pass the ball to the hitter. Their goal is to deliver a nice high pass so the hitter has time to approach and attack the ball. Here's another one. Bump or pass. A bump or pass is usually the first contact used to receive the ball. The ball is then passed to the target, which is the team setter. And the last word is rally. A rally is the play between a serve and a point. They are continuous passes, sets, and hits. So let's see one.